We're back with the Homegrown Hustle podcast live here at the Lakes Area Expo here in Forest Lake, Maranatha Church. Thanks for hosting us. I'm here with Melissa Cummings with Timeless Elements. She's got an amazing story. I'm really looking forward to diving into some of that. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Melissa Cummings. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I just purchased Timeless Elements last year in May. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, going on our 1 year anniversary here soon, and just like
maybe 3 or 4
weeks. No, we do have some other events coming up, but nothing specific planned for that. But
exciting. So what were you doing before? You don't just run around buying.
No, this is my first business venture, actually. So it's kind of a story with it that goes way back.
Let's get into it.
16 years. It's kind of cute.
So let's go back to 16 years ago.
Yeah. So 16 years ago, I was an esthetician. So my career in aesthetics has started in 2005. I became a licensed esthetician. Okay. And then in 2007, Lisa Stegner, who founded Timeless Elements back then.
Big in the community here in Forest Lake.
Exactly. Yep. Her and her husband. And she took me in, and I was her first employee. I helped her with some of the business development to get Timeless Elements opened. And then I was the first employee for quite some time as we grew.
And then you went away for a little bit.
I did.
Right?
Yeah. After my husband and I, we decided to start our family. But my daughter was born with some congenital heart defects that really kind of threw us for a loop. And, so I stayed home with her for 4 years to take care of her. But then I also decided to go back to school to take advantage of that time too. So I obtained an associate's degree in medical aesthetics, and then I also became a registered nurse in 2014. And then I just kept going.
There's been a theme of education here.
Yeah, I actually have 1, 2, 3.
You're taking any more classes
4
right now?
Separate degrees.
Okay, and now you got to learn all about business too. So tell me how it's different learning about business versus learning about the business.
I think the biggest learning curve for me has been how time consuming it really is. There is a lot that goes on the backside of a business.
When you're an employee, you could go home and you can think about it and love your job or whatever,
and come back the next day.
You get to turn it off, kind of. Business owner, that's
not at all.
That's the hard part.
It's a 24/7 thing. It's always on my thoughts and mind. And
how have you navigated that? Has it been hard? Was it overwhelming
I've hired some
at first?
Extra staff. I mean, that's been
that
a big thing
buy
too.
Your time back.
Yep, exactly. So I've hired an executive assistant. I have an amazing operations manager, Kathy.
Good.
She's been with the company for many years too. So she's been a huge support to help me throughout this too, just because of her experience with the business as well.
So you're building a team.
Yeah, we actually kind of still have the same team.
Nice. So there wasn't a lot that changed other than you're driving the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the future look like?
Well, I have a lot of big plans actually for Timeless Elements. I have already implemented a lot of that as far as we've added 5 new services and I think 17 new products retail since I've owned.
Is that to add additional revenue streams?
Yeah, just to expand on the services that we have available.
The things that your customers need and want and ask for?
Yeah, exactly.
What's one that you're the most excited about? I'm obviously not big, not the biggest into...
Well, right now we are currently in the process. We're about halfway through building out an EMR, which is an electronic medical record system, which is going to then give us some more efficient capabilities for documentation.
So almost like CRM, but like a customer management system?
Yes, but it's HIPAA compliant and it's medical related. Yeah, so it's a different
It's a lot more complicated. You can't just it's more than just email addresses.
Yes. So there is, and specific ways.
And that's a big thing to build into your business.
It's very time consuming, but it'll be a really great, we'll call it a growing pain. Okay. It'll be worth it once it's up and running. We are hoping to go live with that in about 6 more weeks, actually.
And that's going to make your customers' lives easier too, or is that more just for you?
It will automate a lot of things for us. It'll give more flexibility for our patients and clients to communicate with us via text message or through our website, booking online. which we have available right now, but it is maybe a little bit limited. So it's just going to make that easier. There will be a client portal too, so that our clients that come in and see us, they'll be able to see their records, whether it's aesthetic or medical. And then that's my big end goal is to develop a skin clinic. And based on...
How long down the road is that?
I am shooting for like January of 25.
Oh,
so there is already a lot that's been done and a lot that's still in process, but
so what capabilities is that going to allow you to have that you don't currently have?
I actually do currently have them. So I am doing some medical exams just kind of by word of mouth right now, but I think I want to officially launch things. The EMR is going to be the big, yeah. So this will be a little bit unique in the way that it'll be a cash pay clinic, just because my experience in healthcare over the past 10 years has shown me that insurance companies are more and more not covering things.
They're just complicated, man. It's confusing for me to even think about.
And the population of underinsured and uninsured people is just growing and growing, or specialty care just generally has a high expense. So if you weed out some of the overhead with that, meaning third-party billers, which is the insurance companies generally, and a billing specialist, because somebody has to kind of work with them.
That whole navigating that entire thing just takes time.
Yeah, and it takes a specialist,
so it's
somebody
less
to
profitable as a byproduct, right?
It is, yeah. So, and it's not a new concept. I mean, it's what chiropractors do. It's what infertility clinics do. It's orthodontics, So it's medical care, but you pay out of pocket. But with reducing those third parties, then you bring the price down. So it ends up
so you can better serve everybody with a smoother transaction. And
and no surprises too. My plan is to have a set fee for any kind of an exam.
So they can like buy it online almost and
well, I don't know. I guess we're still developing that. But rather than calling and, making a 10-minute appointment with at a dermatology practice that's booked out 6 months and only has maybe 10 minutes to spend with you. Ours will be more patient care, and time with the patient to me is a huge priority.
Yeah.
And unfortunately in traditional healthcare, that's highly regulated by insurance companies.
So you give like that personal touch.
That's my plan. I want to do something a little bit different, and I guess it's not new. It's not a new concept, but it's how I want to take our practice. And so for a fee that may include a lot of procedures that are often done during a dermatology appointment. Yeah,
for sure.
But
so they can get it done faster. You don't have to wait for 6 months to have the
potentially. But I think there's quite a chance that I could end up being very booked out offering those same services. I do have several plastic surgeons, other dermatologists, Mohs surgeons, ophthalmologists, and optometrists even that I network with per se. Because there's a lot of things that we aren't going to be doing, but I do see a lot of it. For example, if a patient comes in and I'm looking at them and I can tell they have what's called acquired ptosis, which is the low-lying lids, but it comes to a point where it affects your vision, and your periphery can sometimes be dangerous, when you're driving or trying to look to the side, etc. So I work with optometrists and ophthalmologists who either do the field vision scans that would qualify a person to have a blepharoplasty, and then those plastic surgeons that would then do that procedure too.
So how does that? So you identify this to somebody and then you help them.
Yeah. So as a nurse practitioner, I have full practice authority to diagnose and treat within a certain scope. Obviously, I'm not a surgeon with a blepharoplasty, but I am highly trained and I am certified in advanced dermatologic procedures. So for example, if I identify a skin cancer, I can biopsy that. I'll send it off to my dermatopathologist to get a definitive diagnosis, because it's not always a skin cancer.
For sure.
But if that diagnosis does come back, I'm also able to treat that in-house, just minimally invasive wide
Instead
local
of having
excision.
to like get referred and go through
stay with provider. Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's my big goal for the practice, is to grow it, not change it or eliminate anything, but to just expand on what we have to offer.
Do you have customers that you're serving now that you were serving 16 years ago?
Yes.
That's so
And
cool.
it is so fun. It's just like, it's so heartwarming when I get to see those people.
And build that relationship over time and the trust that comes with it.
it's just a conversation of, oh my goodness, I remember you back when you were pregnant, even, and that was my daughter's 14 years old now. So
that's awesome. So, and you're also part of the Forest Lake Chamber, right?
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that. Were you part of the chamber already before?
Yeah, well, Timeless Element has been, since I think going back to 2008, has always been pretty well involved with the chamber. So I did continue that. And so I am active I am actually an ambassador with the chamber. So
we
I
talked
do
to
those.
Mary Beck a little bit earlier. Too,
oh, okay.
So.
Yep. See her quite a bit. I also am a part of the Ladies Out to Lunch, which is a female networking group.
I never get invited to that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys need to set up a guys luncheon thing.
Guys are not the best at coordinating things.
Yeah. But I really enjoy that, and it's given me the opportunity to meet people in the community because my husband and I have only lived in Forest Lake for about 6 years, so still somewhat new.
Yeah.
So I really liked that aspect, and then there's a social aspect to it as well that I enjoy.
So you were working in Forest Lake, and then you chose to move your family out here. I
was actually working in Edina and Burnsville, out in Sartell, Orono. That's the dermatology practice. So I still worked in the Twin Cities when we moved to Forest Lake 6 years ago.
Okay.
And so I commuted for a while.
What do you love about the Forest Lake community?
Well, I think the size of it, it's like this perfect medium of Twin Cities because it's close to the Twin Cities and all those, the airport and whatnot. Yeah. My husband and I actually moved from Woodbury to Forest Lake, but we're both originally from Pine City. So we grew up with that very small hometown feeling. So Forest Lake is that good in between for us.
We love the Forest Lake community. We moved out just across the road from you, actually, just over a year ago now. And we've just been welcomed with open arms. I mean, the Forest Lake Chamber they do so much that I just want to help get the word out about that. The ambassador events, especially for new businesses coming in, especially if it's a brand new business, the feeling that people get from having support, it's really powerful, and it can kind of create momentum for that business moving forwards. So the ambassador crew is a larger crew.
Yeah,
of
there's
10 to 20 people.
There's probably way more than that.
Yeah.
It's just that sometimes it's hard for all those ambassadors to get to those events.
For sure.
For example, the past several months have kind of been our busy season throughout January and February. So I wasn't really able to be as active, but now generally coming into the summer and the fall, we can manage things a little bit differently.
There's flows of it all, right?
Yeah.
So, first year being a business owner, was there any hesitancy going into business?
Actually, surprisingly, no. I was really, really excited about this opportunity. It's something that's been in the back of my head for many years.
So you've been subconsciously, maybe?
Subconsciously, or hoping, I guess, just knowing that.
And then it happened.
It's amazing. She's going to retire at some point, right? And I always knew that if I had ever heard of, it's up for sale or something like that, that I was going to at least look into it, see what that looked like.
Let's have a conversation, Lisa.
Yeah, but fate has it, actually, I must have made an impression on Lisa years ago that she actually reached out to me a couple of years ago when she was starting to consider retirement for herself. And
so it was a longer conversation. It wasn't hey, do you want this, Melissa?
Absolutely. No, we met up and kind of caught up just over coffee and then discussed her plans and my plans and if I would have interest in taking over the business. Fit? Absolutely.
Yeah. So what did you learn through that process? Because I would assume it's the first time you did that too, right? Any big things that you're I wish I would have thought about that before?
I guess not necessarily, other than I didn't realize how time consuming it is to be a business owner. That's been a huge struggle to balance in life, and then also trying to grow the business. So I'm kind of doing a little extra work on top of just the normal day-to-day.
Business owners work 70 hours for themselves, so they don't have to work 40 for somebody else.
Exactly.
Which is counterintuitive, we know, but when you have passion behind it and something like that
And that's the thing is like every day when I see my patients and stuff, I have a little issue with sometimes running 10 minutes behind or something because I love to just have those social conversations with my patients because they've become my friends. They don't come in to see me. It's different than traditional healthcare, right?
Yeah.
They're not coming because they're ill or sick or we need to fix something. They're coming to me because they want something else.
For sure.
Which is a wide variety.
Do you want to do a little commercial really quick and talk to this camera right here?
Okay.
And tell everyone where to find you and the services you can.
Yeah, so Timeless Elements is right in town on Highway 61, close to the post office, across the street from Dairy Queen and Abracadabra. We're a medical aesthetics practice that offers your traditional spa services like facials and massage, but we also offer a lot of medical services. So we are a medical facility. We have medical grade devices that our estheticians use, and we only employ advanced practice estheticians as well. So they have a 2-year degree versus just a state license. So they have advanced education. And then we also have registered nurses, and there's actually in total 3 of us nurse practitioners that are on staff as well. So,
and how do they get a hold of you? Are you on social media?
Absolutely. We are pretty active, I would say, on social media. We have a third party that takes care of that for us, but we do a lot of internal pictures and things like that. I think our followers have enjoyed, following our people versus our business. So we try to mix it up a little bit.
That's awesome. Well, I'm super grateful for you coming on here today. Excited for your business and everything you got in your future. If I can ever be a resource, definitely reach out to me. We ask everybody one question when they come on here. So the word hustle in terms of your business, like what is that?
Every business for sure.
What does that mean to you? What is that word?
Well, I'll just say hustle is probably pretty synonymous with sacrifice. Honestly, as a business owner, there's been a lot of that, and not just for me, obviously primarily for me, but it also expands into my family. Yeah. My husband's had to take a lot of the things at home per se, because I'm more busy trying to just keep things going and then grow and just run the business and try to,
sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice, hustle and sacrifice. They go hand in hand, at least.
So did you have a different definition before you actually took the business over?
Probably. Yeah. Well, I would still say the same answer.
Makes sense.
If I thought about it, because it's still hustle really is related to time and effort, and you really, but having a humble hustle is also
for sure
something that's top of the priority for me.
I appreciate your hustle. It's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on, joining us on the Homegrown
thanks
Hustle.
For having me.
You guys got a booth out here?
We do, yeah.
Awesome.
We're kind of right in the middle, about the third, fourth one down on your right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to take you from your booth for too much here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Really excited for your future.
Thank you.
Thanks again for joining us on Homegrown Hustle. Our local business community thrives because of the brilliant leaders right here in our backyard. And it's been an absolute privilege to provide them with a platform to share their invaluable expertise. Stay tuned for more insight, wisdom, and inspiration from our local business champions. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Together, we'll continue to nurture and expand our homegrown success stories. Matt Eichmann signing off until our next insightful episode.